Guess who's back, guys? It's me. Now, I want to give a quick announcement. I'm doing this because I'm actually feeling way better than I thought before. Also, if I do sound a little raspy, it is because I had talked so much that I am currently losing my voice. But before we get on to this chapter, this might be the last chapter because this book hasn't been updated since July 17th, 2022. So, yeah. But let's get started. And thank you guys so much for waiting. Sitting in silence as Akaza converses with Kokushibo, though there was like 5 other kids on the bus, knowing from this morning that 7 billion more were coming, so you got comfortable with the mental state of the bus, so to wait for the next 5 minutes or so, you just minded your own business, even though Akaza was the one who bragged you here. I think it's supposed to be dragged you here. Anyways. But peace was never last, as a certain boy with red ass hair boarded onto the bus. Akaza, do you know how rude it is to drag someone off like that? Especially when they are having a conversation with someone? Tanjiro said as he almost completely tripped on someone's legs. Akaza laughed. You did too. Man, Mama doesn't really no liar. So what are you gonna do about it? Akaza paused. The older geezer didn't appreciate another fight on the same day. Putting his head on the seat in front of us, he taunted Tanjiro, who became red. Well, you dragged her off without even asking, Tanjiro argued while sitting in front of Kokushibo's seat, who of which did not do anything at all. Akaza smiled as he motioned towards you. Well, they don't seem to mind, do you, Yin? Akaza asked. Akaza, you really gotta do me like that. You didn't want to upset Tanjiro, but you also didn't want to lie. Now, honestly, I don't see the big deal here. Sorry for having to cut short the conversation back there, but you explained as Akaza had a bigger grin than ever. You wouldn't be surprised if he felt smug that he technically won the argument. Tanjiro seemed to calm down as a formality, 9 billion other people squashed into the bus. Metaphorically, sorry. Tanjiro had saved someone from getting ducked in the face for trying to sit next to Kokushibo's spot. When he had gone up to go get something he had forgotten in. Wait, that's Haruto's class. What's Haruto's class even called? Akaza was laughing and Tanjiro was confusedly apologizing, even though it had nothing to do with him. Though you didn't really care all that much. Normal bus addicts, sort of. Well, the first few seconds were pretty nice, until the single worst moment in your entire life. Ah, Yin-chan, I didn't know you were on this same bus. Oh, god damn no. Doma had literally skipped down the aisle, smacking everyone's face. What? With his pelvis? Dude, how goddamn massive he is! Almost tripped and flopped onto the seat in front of you. God. Scaring the living daylights out of you. And the quiet kid who sat there about a minute prior to this menace. Poor guy was getting squashed to the wall. Akaza hissed as Doma smiled and crossed his arms, leaning on the back of his seat. Why, seriously, can't you leave us alone? Oh shit, wrong person. Akaza sneezed as you looked over at Kokushibo while the two started yet another argument. But you jumped back a bit as he are already either staring or looking over at the perfect time to make it look like he was staring into your soul. I mean, you're probably never gonna get used to his 6 eyes. Why, why could I be here? Doma had put one of his long-ass fingers on his lips. Because this is my fucking best. Doma frankly stared at Agasa as if it were the most obvious thing and exciting, which it kind of wasn't. Agasa reeled, honestly kind of overreacting, and angrily spat. Then why did you sit here, of all places? He motioned to the already packed bus. You could see Mr. Ubaraki sitting his head on the wheel as more and more students... Why is he driving the bus? Isn't he blind? Sorry, squashed onto the cramped bus. If there were any other chance of Doma moving to another seat was lost due to the sheer amount of people who got in while the two were arguing. Well, this is nickname, but me and Nickname are partners. Why can't we sit next to each other? Doma whined as he put his palms out, pointing your direction dramatically. Hey, don't bring me into this. You said already getting tired from today. You also had to figure out if there was a way out of this. You're not even supposed to be here anyways. As fun as this is, surprise, you have a life. I know. The fuck what? This doesn't mean you have to stalk them. You leaned back a bit, already over all the bullshit that had already happened today. Well, you might have to go through the entire game, which you haven't played, to out of here. No prior knowledge or dilly-dallying motion memories. None. Zero. Nada. You can feel that this is going to be hell already. If you two are going to bicker the entire time, why don't they just sit with me then? Kokushibo said, clearly agitated at their constant bickering for the past 10 minutes. You could see both Agasa and Tanjiro's face drop. Doma, on the other hand, looked disappointed. But you were thinking whatever runs this place for is an amazing option. Freedom from these two for 5 minutes. So you tapped Akaza's shoulder. Yeah, I don't want to hear yelling the entire time, so please move. Akaza seemed to complain to that. Opened his mouth, but... Nickname-chan, don't go! Doma whined, with the saddest face he could muster. No. Doma slumped down into his seat and faked cred. Poor guy, that's his name, was still smashed into the wall. R.I.P. So Akaza scooted off the seat when the bus stopped at a stop sign and let you pass. Sorry, you whispered, as you sat on the outer part of the seat Kokushibo was in. But there was one problem. Since he's near the wall, he's fucking massive. Maybe more so than Doma. You literally have to keep one of your legs off the seat so he's not squished. God damn. What are they feeding these guys? Shit. Okay. Sitting there in silence, while the two seemed to calm down a bit, you looked around, anxiety as your thighs were almost touching by an inch. Why were these seats so small anyways? No wonder the aisles is filled with people's legs. Tanjiro turned around with an open mouth, but as soon as he saw Kokushibo, he immediately shut his mouth. A shiver went down his spine, visibly. So he opted to lean around the back of his seat, looking at you. Are you alright? You look uncomfortable, he whispered. Look, Kokushibo already could hear the conversation already. A bit, but these seats are hella small anyways. It would be kind of rude just to leave, huh? You whispered back. Tanjiro looked concerned, but waved it off. So do you have plans for this weekend? Tanjiro asked as he shifted to a more comfortable position. You were puzzled. It's Tuesday. I don't even plan about it on Friday. Tapping your leg a bit as you thought about it. Feeling stirred again. This time it's not Doma because he's asleep in the most uncomfortable position you've ever seen. I was gonna go to the park if you can come if you like. Almost jumping off your seat, you and Tanjiro looked at Kokushibo, a bit bewildered. Already? Are you? Yes, I'm talking to you. You, confused as ever, opened and closed your mouth at the sudden and out of the blue question. Yes or no? Kokushibo crossed his thick-ass arms as he waited, but headed blunt. Yeah, sure. Still confused on why he was even asking you two in the first place, he just put his arms down and looked out the window. Good. Okay. Silent due to the awkwardness, Tanjiro gave you a resenting thumbs up. Well, I'm happy we're making friends. Noticing his hesitation and saying friends, but didn't bring it up. The rest of the way there was mostly you, Tanjiro, and Akaza talking about random stuff. Doma had to wake up to get off at his bus stop. Akaza had competently on waking up, but you did. You know that it's like to be left on the bus or miss your stop. He literally skipped his jolly ass back down the aisle, screamed goodbye before jumping off the steps and face planting onto the sidewalk. Sometimes you think he's lost his mind. Soon after, Akaza had to leave, not before giving you a thumbs up and saying, see you at practice, which you think he meant that seeing each other after practice? You really couldn't respond as he already was at the front of the bus waving goodbye. Tanjiro and you had the same stop, which was nice. And which was next. Kokushibo had gone, a little notebook, ripped a page out, writing something, and tapped your shoulder. He looked down at you with his 6 eyes that we're never gonna get used to and said, here's my number. No filter, my guy. No filter. Ah, thanks. Why did you give me this, though? Asking as you looked at the very neat handwriting. So I can tell you what time we can meet up for the park. So Hataru had said to get to know your classmates better. So that includes you. Kokushibo flatly making an O shape with your mouth. You pocketed the paper. And just as the bus stopped, Tanjiro had gone up with a smile. Come on, Yin, let's get going. You had gotten up and slugged your backpack around your shoulder, keeping in mind you have a sharp weapon in it. Looking back at Kokushibo and gave him a smile, which surprisingly he gave you a small one back. Waving goodbye, you went to join your energetic friend out of the bus, which he started violently to shake you. Are you all right? You were acting strange the whole time. Tanjiro continued to bombard you with questions. The whole time you went the commonly large stairs, sighing at the two of you parted ways. You need to get out of here.